You gremlin, why are you sat like that? It's the clue, it's the clue, it's the one clue that Elle needs. Creepiest thing in the world. Genius, but you're gonna die. What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today I'll be reacting to the Death Note episode 6. Now the last episode sets up something I'm very looking forward to see continue, and essentially it adds a wild card into this mix of Elle and Light getting closer together, but now you have the fiance of Ray, who is a former FBI agent who now has a personal reason to get involved with this. I feel like she's already gotten closer than Elle, so I'm just very looking forward to see how she impacts this story, because you know she is not going to stop. She is going to be on a mission now to expose and find the person that killed her fiance. But also in this episode we should be able to see Elle actually meet the police task force. I'm excited for that because I don't know if it's actually going to be a dummy or not. I feel like Elle is a very secretive person, so I just don't know if he would actually reveal himself to people. He could just put a stand in his place. I'm hoping at least there's a fake name. He can't do everything. If he gives them his name and shows his face, Light can literally do what he did to Ray, which was heartbreaking, but it shows how powerful he is becoming. He's able to think this creatively to get people to die. He could do this to his dad. You can see how it can happen, and I'm just hoping that Elle has precautions in place. In the last one, we also basically saw Light get a whole lot bolder in what he's doing and completely lose the mission that he had. He was only going to use the Death Note on people that he deemed deserved it. Criminals, murderers, all of this stuff. Bad people. He's used it on FBI agents who did nothing wrong. They were just investigating the people. Some of them didn't even come into contact with Light. They were just random people, and he killed them all anyway. So I do not understand how he can justify anything he's doing and basically say that he's still the good guy. I do think we saw the moment he kind of snapped, because his dad did say that Kira was evil, and that's something that Light really does not like. So I think he is a psychopath and he is like just a completely insane person, but now I do think he does not care about if his dad lives or dies. Just saying the word evil in relation to Kira and the mission, I think Light has fully just broken and no longer cares about what his family think, and he does not care if he gets found out by them. I think he would use the Death Note on them with what his dad just said. And this just makes me more terrified for his dad actually meeting Elle, because then that just sets up a whole domino effect of what Light could do. But yeah, I'm very excited to just get into this and just see how Elle can protect himself. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like, subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. I'm realizing how much I'm missing in this intro, because I just saw the fiance with the Ray's body in the chair. That's the thing. It basically told us that it was going to happen there. Are they actually meeting? And you see them in face to face, because
I am Elle.
This is him?
He's nothing like I thought he'd be.
It looks odd. What's he doing?
Matsuda.
I'm Aizawa.
Mogi.
Yukita.
Don't say your actual name.
Currently, the five of us are...
Bang!
What the hell was that?
What's he doing?
If I were Kira, you'd be dead, Mr. Soichiro Yagami. Kira needs a face and a name in order to commit murder.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just willing to give their name and face away that easily.
Not give out your name so carelessly. Instead, let's value our lives.
Okay, brilliant. Already just set the tone.
Criminals whose names were never released publicly or whose names were spelled incorrectly in the media have not been targeted. We briefly went over it.
And it's true. Go with it. No, so he's only told them Elle, so he's safe.
All your cell phones, handhelds, and any other communication devices and leave them on the table.
What do you think we're gonna be using our cell phones during this meeting to leak?
You could be tapped.
No, I just find them distracting. I can't stand it when people's cell phones are ringing while I'm trying to talk.
Okay. Why are you sitting like that?
Nobody takes notes on anything that's said in these meetings. That means when we leave headquarters, any information we need is committed to me.
You gremlin, why are you sat like that?
Please make yourselves comfortable.
Does he find that position comfortable? It hurts my back just looking at it. His eyes are so dark. Okay, a lot of sugar, okay.
And from now on, I'll have to ask that you stop calling me Elle. It's Ryuzaki now, just to be safe.
Oh, wait, another name. That better be a fake name. Ryuzaki.
Couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
If we do that, we'll only be putting the general public at risk.
What is that? Why?
Kira is childish, and he hates losing.
So you just start taking out anyone who's got their names on being broadcasted.
I'm also childish and I hate to lose. That's how I know.
Oh, great. So yeah, you are a kid.
Up until then, we thought that Kira would only go after criminals, but as we all witnessed, didn't hesitate to kill my
See, what use does L have with these people if he has to explain all this to them?
defiance. He made sure his next victims came from within Japan, as if to say, and what are you gonna do about it?
Childish. Well done.
He's met each of my challenges head on, and he's never missed an opportunity to return the favor.
To offer more challenges that will incriminate him more.
And if we try to use media restrictions to hide criminals from someone like that,
Go after anyone.
choose to withhold the names of your worst criminals, I'll kill petty criminals or the innocent. I'm holding the whole world hostage, so who's it gonna be?
Exactly.
I'm not the evil one here, but all those who oppose me by hiding criminals, you are truly evil.
He understands him perfectly.
In any case, let's look at another way we can use the media to draw him out.
But how?
How about something like this?
Is he going to come up with it himself? Why do you need these people?
Latest killings anger the international policing community. Nations agree to send 1,500 investigators to Japan.
That could work.
He'll see everyone as a potential threat.
Paranoid.
Psychologically, he'll start to feel cornered, and that will cause him to take some kind of drastic action.
Which could expose him. Excellent work.
So he'll think there are 1,500 when there are really only 7 of us.
And he'll be looking for people that don't exist.
Well, before we celebrate, I'll tell you the rest of my thoughts on the Kira.
Do you sleep? His eyes are so dark.
We know he needs a name and a face to kill, and to some extent he can control a victim's time of death and their actions before dying.
Love it. Brilliant.
On December 14th, 12 FBI investigators enter Japan.
December 14th. We're getting dates now. Okay.
Using prison inmates, Kira conducts experiments manipulating his victims' actions before they die.
And he knows their experiments. He was testing.
Kira became aware of the FBI's presence and obviously felt threatened.
And started messing with stuff.
He needed to know how much control he had over his victims before he could use it.
So you know that he's an amateur.
I have to make sure that no one ever finds out that I came into contact with Ray Penberg.
But someone does, hopefully. The fiancé.
What you doing? December 19th to December 27th. I've been most active during this period.
Oh, you're investigating too. They're mirroring each other.
He killed that many people so we'd be unable to tell the decoys from those who were actually used.
And you figured it out.
I suspect Kira had to be one of the people being investigated by the FBI between the 14th and the 19th of December.
Brilliant. Narrow it down.
There might only be 5 of us, but with this much information, we should be able to cover a lot of ground.
Because they're basically just worker bees. That's what you need them for. You can't go through it all by yourself. You're just making them, you make things quicker.
And of those, the FBI only investigated a small group in the first 5 days.
Oh, is the dad going to see his son on the list?
I do have one question for you, and it pertains to what you said to us earlier about how you hate to lose. Does the fact that you've shown us your face mean that you've lost?
No, fake names.
By showing my face to you now and by sacrificing the lives of 12 FBI agents, I have lost the battle.
But you won't
But
lose.
I'm not gonna lose the war.
There we go. Yep. Oh, this is good.
I want to show Kira that we're all willing to risk our lives if that's what it takes.
And that'll make him desperate. It'll make Kira desperate. It's a challenge. They're ready to risk their lives. Is Kira ready to risk his?
I had my doubts about whether it was really him at first, but there's no mistaking it. This man is L.
So is he an adult? I don't know.
Things are going well. Just one clue. A single decisive factor is all I need.
Yes, just one.
One oversight, a single piece of evidence is all it would take.
It's incredible how much they're mirroring each other.
Could cost me my life.
You could have read.
Just one thing.
We know that light sort of is self-preservative. We know he might not do that. Wild card, you. What'd you find? Okay, yeah. Light, he doesn't mess with his life. He refused the deal, which would shorten it. So now what would he do? Now met head on with this challenge. His opposition is ready to risk his life.
The biggest risk I've taken so far was that bus jacking incident, but they'll never be able to connect it with Kira.
They might. Well, one person might.
Don't know that Kira can kill people by means other than a heart attack. Anyone were to discover that fact, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
That is true. They don't know they can die different ways.
Your father's been pulling overnighters with no change of clothes, so you're going to bring these to him.
Why don't I go?
So he's going to the police department. I don't want him to know about Earl and the connections between Earl and his dad now.
Oh, you're bringing a page. Planning to kill someone?
No, but lately I've been bringing a page with me every time I go out, just in case.
Paranoia. It's setting in. He can start acting nuts.
Same day, 4 people died of heart attacks in the Shinjuku area, and there was the bus jacking.
Yeah. She's going to put it together.
No way it was a coincidence. That's it. Kira can kill in other ways. It doesn't have to be a heart.
Brilliant. Can she get this information to Elle? That's that clue. It's the clue. It's the clue. It's the one clue that Elle needs.
I wonder if he's in a meeting right now.
Creepiest thing in the world.
There is no one at Task Force headquarters right now.
There's no one at headquarters?
How'd you get this?
Dad's cell is turned off.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh, the one clue he needs is that his dad's working with Elle.
Information relating to the Kira investigation.
The Kira investigation.
Sharpened eyes. Oh, great.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, what, you don't remember? You helped solve the insurance fraud murder investigation.
He helped on a case.
Does this mean you're going to be helping us with the Kira investigation too?
Sure, if all goes well, maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does.
Ooh, wait, you're gonna figure stuff out?
I'll be sure to give them your message as soon as I see them.
My father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation.
Can she use that information?
A number of FBI agents were just killed, and a lot of detectives have quit the case because they're afraid of Kira, so he's pretty busy right now.
He's trying to drown her in the emotional weight.
I feel like I can trust her. You can almost see it in her eyes.
You manipulative so-and-so.
And you must have figured out that the police had a leak of some kind, and that's why you wanted to tell them in person.
Can she tell that he's putting on a facade? Don't be manipulated by him, please.
I'll give you the phone and let you talk to him.
You sure that's all right?
You understand why I can't just give you my father's cell phone number, but I have no problem letting you use my phone to talk to him.
She's questioning it.
Hope won't be too difficult for you.
Why is he so happy?
Yeah, trying to put on a kind, open face.
She walked right into that one, didn't she?
She hasn't given him the information that she knows yet, which is good.
So according to you, is Kira some... We've been talking and I just realized I don't even know your...
Don't you dare give it.
Name's Shokomaki. It's written with the characters for Shining. Ko is in child, space and Ki is in tree.
Why give up your name? Why?
I believe they enable him to somehow control his victims before they die.
So do I. It's odd that you say that because that's exactly what I've been...
Oh, please put it together. Tell me she's already figured it out and she gave a fake name or something.
Kira can kill in a number of ways, not just with a heart attack.
She knows? Who is this
Yep,
woman?
put your guards up now.
Person came in saying they'd met Kira. The police would be more than a little skeptical.
That's why I need to explain it in person. Otherwise, I'm afraid they'll just write me out.
I don't want her to die. She's so close. Come on, please, wildcard.
It probably would, but he's no longer alive. He was one of the 12 FBI agents who came to Japan to investigate.
Too much info.
An FBI agent who met Kira.
It's the connection.
Could it be?
You see, he was also my fiancé.
She is the clue Elle needs, and like now knows it.
I have reason to believe that he met Kira on that bus.
Ray Penber.
She is the loose end.
Something wrong?
Nothing. I'm sorry to hear that he passed away.
Did his demeanor change? He looks kind of stoic-y now.
The same man had attempted to rob a bank 2 days before he hijacked that bus. Then he dies in an accident. Just like that. Really, what are the odds?
Exactly. Go on.
It was planned to bring him into contact with my fiancé in order to obtain information regarding the identities of the other FBI agents so he could get rid of them all.
Genius, keep... Oh, but you're gonna die.
To me, as that the hijacker died in an accident, it suggests that heart attacks aren't the only way Kira can kill people.
She's got it. She's got it. She's gonna die. Look at him hiding his eyes. Oh, dear. They're just letting this hang in the air. Come on, please. I don't want her to die. Tell me she lives.
Based on that, you're saying Kira has other ways of killing people? Don't take this the wrong way, but I think that's a bit of a leap of...
There we go. He's trying to downplay it.
There's no other way of looking at it. If Kira was controlling the hijacker, chances are he killed him too.
Tell me she figures it out.
Told me one thing, that he'd been put in a situation where he had to show his FBI ID to someone.
Yeah, which is unusual.
He wasn't allowed to show his ID. Whoever saw his ID that day is responsible for the deaths of all he...
And they're right in front of her.
Unbelievable. She figured it out.
Even he's impressed. Okay, please let her live, please. She's impressed, the god of death.
And you want nothing more than to avenge your fiancé by bringing Kira to justice, right? And now you're convinced that Kira can kill without using a heart attack.
A lot of talking, but it's all just to build up to what's happening.
Skills are excellent, but you can't deny that you have a personal interest in the...
And that's exactly what's got on her this far.
Person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus that day, it had to be Kira.
Yeah, and the smile. Come on, please put it together. Oh, come on, lady. Come on, please.
That was close. This woman, if she'd spoken to the police before I met...
Oh, no.
It seems there's a god on my side after all.
Oh, no, she's gonna die now. She's gonna die now. He's written it. He's written it. Crossing the street, she's gonna die. Oh, why to be continued? No! So, she's about to die. That's fun. It's so, like, I love how this is building. I love this. I love the writing. They both have the clues they need to find each other. That's what this episode does. All Elle needs is the information that Kira can kill in other ways, and he'll be able to do exactly what this woman just did. And pinpoint it directly onto Light. He knows who the FBI agent was looking for, who was investigating that day. He can figure it out. He knows it would be Light. And if anyone was going to look at an FBI agent card, it would be him. And it would be so, that's literally the only, that would give it all away. So we know that she's going to die. It's just sad to think about. It's inevitable. And then on the other side of that, all Light needs to figure out about the whole L situation is finding out his dad has met him. That's the only clue he needs, and he can do exactly what he did with the FBI agents. And this episode does so much in so little time. So we have the dad who actually meets Elle, and we get to meet that that's actually him. Goes by a different name, so I like they're just throwing different names out. And of course, immediately sets the tone and says that they'd all be dead because they just showed off their information and their IDs, like idiots. And of course, he sits weird. He's a weird character. He's fun but weird. He's a genius, but like his posture, it alarms me. Like, how can he sit like that comfortably, hunched over? It looks like he doesn't sleep. The bag's under his eyes. It's an interesting choice to portray this guy that bizarrely. Like, there's clearly intention to show him being this, I guess, odd. But why is that? Is it just to show that he thinks differently than everyone else? And also show that he is, I guess, childish, which is what led him to find all this stuff out about Light. I found that maybe there's more to it, I don't know. It could just be to show off the similarities in the childish nature of both of the characters. And probably to set up a good difference between them. Light is just very professional and, I guess, put together, whereas Elle seems to be kind of a mess. Scruffy hair, no shoes, scruffy clothes, and just not well put together, unlike Light. So it's like that, they're opposites of each other. They're both fighting for justice. Yeah, then we get fully introduced to the fiancée, and I feel so bad for her. She's gonna die. Like, she's gotten so close, and it just shows that she basically represents Light's mistakes. She represents that he does have flaws, and he is willing to lash out like this. It's another innocent person that he is ready to kill. Again, it's his fault that she got this close to begin with. And that's probably one of the things Ryuk enjoys watching so much, is that Light, even though he considers himself to be this incredible figure, still makes mistakes and still will be his own downfall. That's probably part of the poetry that Ryuk loves. He knows that this guy's going to cause chaos and add lots of names to the Death Note, but in the end, Ryuk is going to really enjoy watching Light bring on his own failure. And this would be the first step. It's a sign of things to come. He is messed up here, so he can mess up again. He left this opening. He wasn't as careful as he thought he was. He wasn't as smart as he thought he was able to figure out that the person who saw the FBI ID was Kira. She put it together seamlessly. All she needs to do is tell that to Elle, and Kira would be done. I think I just love the structure of the episode as well, ending it off on that cliffhanger, because the episode built up. It's a lot of talking in this episode as well, but they structure it all differently. So the first one with Elle is just treated as his sort of proper introduction, getting to know him visually and I guess how he speaks and interacts with others. That's quite just fun. It's good to, the atmosphere of that is just new information. And also just impressed by seeing this guy and what he's capable of. Then the fiancé scene is just filled with tension. They're leaving like silence hanging in the air because the audience knows what's about to happen. Light is keeping a part of the Death Note in his pocket, ready to use, and you know her fate is completely sealed. And they leave it off on the most annoying cliffhanger because you know exactly how the next episode is going to start. Like, she was the perfect candidate as well. She did it. She basically did it. And I like what her character represents. It's clear that her death certificate is signed, but it's good what she represents. He does have faults. She is our window to see that he can be defeated. She may not be the answer, but she provides a one. And before, it looked like it would be impossible, but she proves that it is. That's all she needed to do. So hopefully she can just be with her fiance after this. To begin with then, I think it's just becoming pretty clear that Light is exactly where Elle wants him to be. He's becoming paranoid. He's using the Death Note to not just take out criminals and just bad people, but anyone that gets in his way. That's exactly what Elle wants, because that's going to start deteriorating his sanity, his mission, and eventually it's going to make him lash out. He's backing him into a corner, and he's going to lash out and expose himself. I mean, we see it so perfectly here. He's digging for information, realizes that this woman knows far too much, and he's going to lash out, and he's going to take her out, even though she is a grieving would-be widow. She has done absolutely nothing wrong, yet Light still feels justified in taking her out because she would get in his way and she would stop him. That compromises his mission to rid the world of evil because he is now the one causing the evil. Yet he hasn't even realized that yet. So when he does, he is going to snap even more than he already has. It's just fascinating to watch his descent into insanity here, because he does not even realize it yet. He still truly believes that he is the morally upright one here. I'm so looking forward to see how far he will go before he does eventually realize it. If he even does. I honestly don't know if he will ever realize how far he's fallen from his original goal. But yeah, then of course we get to meet Elle. Finally, for the first time in person. I still can't determine whether or not he's a child. No one brought it up. So is he a kid? Is he an adult? I do not know. He seems like the same age as Light from appearance, but he might not be, I guess, if none of the adults are like questioning how this child would have gotten this position and so successful in like their time. But I love how immediately he controls the room through just his actions, saying that they'd all be dead because the idiots gave away their IDs, face and names and all that. He tells them the information he has, and he's basically giving them the busy work to make things quicker. I think he could solve it by himself, but he's using them to just make it go faster because that's what he needs them for. Lives are on the line. He can't afford to just do it all himself. And I think the most intriguing thing about him is just how he positions himself. Like, with animation, everything is purposeful. This guy sits so weirdly, has a lot of sugar. It's clear that he does not sleep. Or at least he gets very little. The bags under his eyes, the amount of sugar he had in his tea, he's trying to stay awake, and I'm guessing that's simply because he knows, I'm guessing it's his sense of justice. He knows that if he goes to sleep, more people could die. If he takes a break and starts just stopping to think about this, it's him taking the responsibility for Kira doing more. He has to devote all of his time, including his sleep, to stopping this serial killer. Now, of course, that could come back to bite him in the butt, because if he does start having a lot of lack of sleep, that would impair him a lot, and he probably wouldn't be able to do as well as he could do if he had a full night's rest. But it'll be interesting to see if that does take effect, or if it's just the choice to have this character look just like he's falling apart. His posture is also like something to think about, and just how he sits and with it. It's an odd choice, but if it's just him comfortable, I feel like it's got to be more than just him being comfortable. There's something to it on why he sits like that. I think it's close to the fetal position where like it might make him feel safer just being like tucked in. Then what would he have to fear and be in danger of? I don't know. He gives a lot to think about. I like that he gives another name, so that means there's like another thing floating out there that maybe they don't talk about. And hopefully that name also isn't his actual real one. He just keeps that incredibly hidden. I honestly hope that through this entire show we never actually learn his real name. That would be perfect. But I just love how we get to see how smart he is, and the parallel between him and Light at the start of this episode was so good. Watching them try and investigate the other one, both knowing that they just need one clue to actually get them there, to finish this, and the one clue has presented itself. Yeah, then we have the fiance, and I feel nothing but sadness for this character now. I think she's used amazingly well. She represents that Light can make mistakes, and she's basically foreshadowing that this is what will be his downfall. This is what he does. He thinks very well about different things, but because he's a psychopath, he forgets what people mean to each other. That's what happened here. I'm sure he knew about the girlfriend, but I guess he just didn't consider that because he killed Ray, she just wouldn't care. She wouldn't look into it. He made the mistake because he doesn't understand people's relationships to each other. He is a full-on psychopath, and that is what she exposes here. She honestly does quite a lot. I do really love her scenes because it's that window of hope. We know that he can be defeated now because someone has figured it out. It looks like he'll be able to stop her, but eventually someone won't be stopped and he will get caught. He is not flawless and he will bring his downfall on himself. Then the police, we also get to see them again. I'm kind of hoping that they get more to do, I guess, because they are kind of just L's workers. Of course, the dad is the most prominent one because he has personal ties to the actual villain. But the police, their role is just to save time, and I kind of want them to do a bit more than that. I mean, it makes sense. Elle can't do everything alone, but hopefully maybe some of them can have like insights that maybe Elle doesn't, just to help fill them out. They just feel very not that important. They're just basically there to make the work quicker, but maybe you could just emphasize that a bit more just because it needs to be fast to save lives. That could be something. Maybe they ask why Elle always looks like a mess, and maybe that explains that if he goes to sleep or if he rests, then people will die. So he needs to do things fast, which is why they're here. Stress why they're here. Don't just have them do busy work because it does make them look kind of useless in comparison to people like Elle, who's basically just running the entire operation, coming up with all the ideas, the correct ideas, and just makes them look just redundant. Then just to talk about Ryuk, I guess, because he's not doing that much recently. He's just been around Light and watching him, and he is just laughing along, laughing at others' misery. He's just enjoying the show. That's what he's doing. Like, I almost hope that maybe him being there will have some kind of negative effect on Light other than everything else, but it's a distraction. He can't fully focus on his mission with Ryuk constantly over his shoulder whispering to him, talking about who knows what. I'm hoping that Ryuk can turn into some kind of hindrance, because of course there's no way that anyone can really know about this thing. He's just there, and that's going to be a huge thing to deal with for Elle, because you have a god of death helping this person, kind of helping, watching it, whatever. He is a variable that can't be known, that will impact this entire thing. Because we know that Ryuk is not loyal to Light. He's just there to watch. And it's like, it's quite fun because he is an untrustworthy narrator because he doesn't care. He is just watching. He could say whatever, we don't know. He's offered deals, they've been turned down, but we know he's keeping secrets still. But like the things we get from him here is just him laughing at this poor woman who's about to be killed. And that is just, it shows that while he is sort of just a passive observer, he is kind of evil. He wants to see people die. Yes, we've known that for a while, but we've never really seen him laugh at someone dying. It just sets something weird off, I think, in me. Because he was just there to watch, he was there to write names, but to see him actually take joy in the fact that Light has gotten this woman killed, it's new, it's weird, and it's just, I'm hoping that maybe he can just... Because like laughter, it's almost, I think the laughter is just the weird bit, because hopefully maybe that can be distracting at some point. I don't know, I want there to be some kind of downfall between the two. I want something to happen that just sets them apart, and I'm looking for anything. Ryuk really doesn't do a lot in this episode but laugh at this woman's death. Light was able to work this well. Maybe it's motivation, maybe it's just like Light can see himself as that good, it's Ryuk praising him essentially, saying, oh, you've done so well, oh, I'm laughing at how good you're doing. And since Ryuk doesn't care, that could be a downfall. Maybe he is just trying to build Light up on a hollow foundation, and then maybe he can just topple then. Because here we kind of see him topple a little bit, realizing that he's not as smart as he thinks he is, because something slipped through the cracks. Yet Ryuk isn't commenting on that, he's just commenting on the fact that he's doing great, and he's already gotten so much out of this woman that he's able to kill her now. Ryuk is saying how impressed he is with Light, and that's what he's been doing for a while, saying he's surprised by what Light is being able to come up with. I'm really hoping there is more to Ryuk, that there is something that he's doing that will impact Light negatively. I doubt he wants him to stop, but there must be something he's got up his sleeve, just ready and waiting to sort of act on. Yeah, then I think just the style of this episode was really good. Loved seeing the mirrored scene between Light and L at the start. That was absolutely so cool to see because it shows how close they're getting, that they are both one step away from finding the other. And of course that one step shows up in this episode. And I do really like the animation shift at the end where it shows the different colors, or I guess the colors gone, where the visual style just completely changes. You have the hair color change and the red eyes. That was something. Did red eyes show up on Light at another scene? I feel like I noticed some red eyes that weren't there. I don't know what color his eyes are. There was one scene where they were red, but I couldn't figure out if that was how they normally are or if that was different. But then in the scene where his hair turns red and the woman's hair turns blue, his eyes were red again. But that was in the weird style of things. I'm sure he had red eyes at some point in just a normal setting. And I do just love how they just play with the visual style of this, because it really emphasizes what's about to happen, that things are changing, and they're just setting this use of the Death Note in this new style. And I guess it could be just Light slipping further and further into the delusion that he's in. He's not seeing the real world anymore, the real morality. He's going into his own morality that the Death Note is providing him. But yeah, as for what's next, we have the fiance who probably is going to get hit by a car. That seems like how it's going to happen. Not sure, or heart attack in the street, but then shit, that would be picked up on. What could Light have written so quickly on the piece of paper that he had? I think because they were walking on a pedestrian crossing, it seems like she's going to get run over. But it's so sad that she's going to die in a minute, because she does it, but I'm just glad that what she does, she exposes that Light has flaws and that those can be exposed. So yeah, even though she's going to die, I like what she opens up. And I'm just hoping that her death will impact something, that people can see it and think, oh no, Light has been in a bus jacking, Light has just seen this person die. Maybe that can help put the pieces together for L. Because again, he hasn't had much time to plan here. Light has just acted out of impulse essentially. So hopefully he makes a good mistake at this moment. Yeah, overall, really enjoyed this episode. The show has just been phenomenal so far. It doesn't feel like it's slowing down, it just feels like it keeps speeding up. I love how intricate the story is being, how it doesn't feel like any side is kind of winning, but of course you have Light who feels like he's overwhelmingly sort of safe, I guess. Then when you get to L's point of view, it also seems like he's getting pretty close. I love just seeing how well this show does each perspective, and that it does feel like both are winning at the same time. And I think I just love how sort of this episode was structured, the ending especially, how it was just the way they're using dialogue. The first half was a lot of dialogue with just explaining who L is, second half being just building tension for this woman's death, and I think it's just really well done, and it just makes me excited for the rest of the show, even more than I already am, knowing how well they can just use simple things like this to create different atmospheres and feelings from these scenes. But yeah, this was such a good episode, and I'm just happy that Light has flaws, that he can mess up. This is our first time seeing it, and that means it should happen more now, and I cannot wait to see when it will happen again. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for episode 7. See ya!